So, what is the number one question that you can ask that will change every single aspect of your life? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Thank you so much for being here for the 10 at 10. 10 minutes to get you pumped up, get you excited about your day, and give you a little bit more bounce in your step. Happy Thursday to you. Before we jump into it, I have a question. Leave this in the comments, please. So when I started doing this, I started on my birthday, December 12th. You can go all the way back and watch. I committed to doing it for 30 days, and I want to know if you guys find this helpful. If you enjoy these, I will keep doing them. If not, I have tons of stuff I can do with my time, and I will find something else to do. But if it is serving you, that's why I'm here, to make the world a better place, change the world one person at a time. If this is serving you, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you're getting out of these and if I should keep doing them. All right, so let's jump into it. What is the biggest question that you can ask yourself that will change everything for you? I want you to think just for a second. Think about your life. Think about the daily things that you do every single day. There is a question that you ask yourself repeatedly. There's something there. It pre-frames everything that you do. I'll tell you the story about how this came about for me. Being a consultant, helping people with their businesses, I constantly ask, how can I fix this? I ask that all the time. I've probably asked that question since I was a little kid because I was always messing with stuff. I was always breaking things. I was always putting it back together. I wanted to know how things work. That was another question. But what ended up happening somewhere in, I would say, my mid-20s, my main question shifted to, how can I fix this? You might say, well, that sounds like a pretty good question, Steve. And it is, except what is the presupposition? What does that presuppose? It presupposes that something is broken. And if I approach everything in life asking, how can I fix this? I'm going to constantly be thinking everything is broken. Probably not the best way to go about this. Some of the girls that I have met, some ladies in my life that I've met over the last couple of years, if their question is, how am I going to get hurt here? Or how can I protect myself? Right? You can see how that might lead to a mindset of the world is not a fun place. Talked to somebody yesterday and I asked if they had been traveling at all. And she said, oh no, I'm scared to travel. Travel scares me. I said, well, why? And she said, well, the world is a scary place. I said, well, why? And she said, well, bad things happen out in the world. And if you're constantly pre-framing things like that and saying, how could I get hurt if I step outside of my comfort zone? Do you think that that person can grow? Right? But that question frames everything. So how do you change this, right? If you're thinking about your question right now, you probably know it. Most people know it very quickly. It's either, how can I fix this? How can I protect myself? Usually it has a pretty negative connotation without trying. It is not your fault if that is what is coming up for you. So you might be saying, well, how can I change that? How can I make something different be my primary question? So the first thing is become aware. If you know that is your question, take a moment, take out a piece of paper, write down your question and write all the ways that it can negatively affect your life. There was actually a paralegal that I talked to, and she constantly was, what's wrong with this? How is the person lying? How is the person not being truthful? What are they hiding from me? What do you think her home life is like, right? She comes home every day, and those are the subconscious questions that are rolling in her head. What do you think her home life is like? What do you think the life was like with her kids or with her husband, with her family, with her sisters? It definitely created a lot of tension. She was actually at the event. So where this all came from, this Tony Robbins teaches this. I'm sure he's not the first and only person, but that's where I was exposed to this. And it created a huge light bulb over my head. So I switched mine. The first step is that you have to become aware. Write down all the ways that it affects your life. Then you can start to become aware of it, right? Your head will start to pay attention to it because it becomes conscious to us. The second thing is pick a new question. Pick a question that has something positive tied to it. So for me, mine, instead of how can I fix this, it became what is great about this right now and what are the people enjoying about it? What what is great about this? How is this making the world a better place? And then how can I add to it? How can I support that? My goal is to change people's lives, plain and simple. So how can I do that? It's not by telling them something is wrong, because right away a wall goes up, right? People don't pay attention. It's instead, dude, what you're doing is amazing. First rule, always agree with people, always make people feel better. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, you can still agree with their sentiment. You can agree with something in what they're doing, because everybody does things usually from a positive place. You can find something positive in what they're doing. Then find ways to support them. Find ways to grow what they're doing, right? That's a much better question than how can I fix it? So I picked a new question and I started writing. I did the list, right? So one side of the paper has my old question and all the ways that it affected things. The new side has the new question, and you have to tie whatever responses you wrote on this side of the paper to a new response. How does that change? This will formulate it in your head, and it will start new neural pathways. The neural pathways work like anything else. It's a little, we'll call it a strand, right? It gets a little electric jolt that goes through it. Every time that fires, it gets entrenched in your brain more and more. This writing process will actually start that for you. And then from there, you can just pay attention to it more and see the results that you get. This is the last piece. We've talked a lot about future pacing in these videos. Always future pace yourself to see the future results that you will get by doing the new action. Take a moment and paint the picture in your head. Close your eyes. Figure out what that would look like. What would it feel like? What would it sound like? As you do this, your question will change. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will change and new things will happen in your life. If you enjoyed this and you're wondering how you can share your story with the world, I want to invite you to grab Stories That Scale. It is the 5 core stories that work for every single business to help you grow your business. Stories are the main way that you can connect with your ideal clients. They are the number one way that you can separate your pricing from the masses and become in the top 10% price tier, make more money for your business, affect more people, and serve people in a better way, because higher price clients are always willing to pay more attention. They complain less, and they're the best clients in the world. So if you want that, grab Stories That Scale. It will help you grow your business. If there's anything I can do for you, if you have any questions over what we covered today, leave them in the comments. If there's something I can help you with personally, reach out to me, DM me. I am always happy to talk with people. I think you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. And until tomorrow, take action, change lives, and make money. I'll see you soon.